Early in November, something happened that many Saudis would have thought unimaginable. From their homes across the country, dozens of the kingdom's richest men, including members of the royal family, were swept up and detained in the gilded cage of Riyadh's Ritz-Carlton Hotel. It's been called an anti-corruption drive, and those facing interrogation include Prince Alwaleed bin Talal, whose estimated $18 billion fortune makes him Saudi Arabia's richest businessman.
Alwaleed bin Talal is important because he is the richest of the detainees by far. So he is very important in financial terms, but he's also important because he is one of the best known princes in the West, and he has many Western connections and he has many Western businesses.
Alwaleed is known for his gold-plated private airliner, his friendship with celebrities, as well as his business, Kingdom Holdings, that has stakes in Euro Disney and Western tech companies. But his wealth and family connections also made him a rival to Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince and architect of the anti-corruption drive.
We drive in under police escort just past midnight. No one enters here now without official permission.
The BBC got a swift look inside the Ritz-Carlton, but opposition sources have claimed inmates were being tortured and required to sign over their fortunes in order to be released. On Monday, the Arab Digest website reported that Canadian-based businessman Alan Bender, seen here to the right of Alwaleed bin Talal, had been flown to the kingdom as it built a case against the prince. Mr. Bender was taken to a site near the hotel.
Alan Bender had a unique insight into the situation in the Ritz because for the past 2.5 months there's been really very little information escaping. That the Saudis have controlled the information flow.
Newsnight managed to locate Mr. Bender in Toronto. He was able to confirm his trip to Riyadh in December and that he spoke via video conference while there with the detained Prince Alwaleed.
He was brought in through the teleconference and was sat down. We were looking at each other face to face. I think he was surprised to see me. He looked different from what I'm used to seeing him like.
Did he look as if he was in some way being ill-treated, or was he just shocked to see you? How would you describe his appearance?
I would say he looked. He didn't look comfortable. He wasn't. He was unshaven. He didn't look in his best condition at all. He looked tired. A lot of twitching during the conversation while I was reading the script out to him.
The Saudi authorities had prepared a script of allegations for Mr. Bender to read out to Alwaleed bin Talal via a video conference link.
In the script, it contained a lot of information related to recorded conversations Prince Alwaleed had with or without his knowledge. It touches political, financial, and moral issues. I would say my presence was to be used as probably evidence of details that they needed to confront him, because I'm probably the only person who was involved in personal and direct negotiations with him related to a very personal matter that was supposed to be kept secret.
Those very personal matters related to Alwaleed's separation from a former long-term partner. Mr. Bender has represented her in settlement negotiations, and she alleges that the prince engaged in abusive and immoral conduct. The Saudi authorities, it seems, want to use these personal pressure points to force Alwaleed to sign over his foreign wealth.
Alan Bender has had a sequence of meetings with Alwaleed bin Talal over the years, face to face, very tough negotiations concerning this very acrimonious divorce. So these two know each other very well. And the Saudis flew in Alan Bender and other old business adversaries of Waleed to try and put pressure on him, to try and crack him and make him do what Mohammed bin Salman wants, which is hand over all his foreign assets and make videotaped confessions admitting to all his guilt and swearing allegiance.
The Saudi authorities have announced the Ritz-Carlton will soon revert to its normal role as a hotel. But there's evidence that some key detainees, including Prince Waleed, had been transferred to detention elsewhere, even in December.
The room he was in definitely was not a hotel room. It looked more like, I would say, a detention room or something related to a jail cell. Even the sounds of the doors sliding back and forth, it didn't look or sound like he was at the Ritz-Carlton.
You've known him obviously for many years. What sort of change do you think had come over the man that you saw through that video teleconference?
Dramatic changes. He looked completely different from the man I saw, whether in North America or in Saudi Arabia or in Switzerland. He wasn't the same person at all. He looked very sad and very stressed.
Alan Bender's account is a singular one, and the Saudi authorities have not yet responded to our request for comment. But it gives a good idea of the lengths the kingdom's rulers are willing to go to humble a prince who was their most successful businessman.